Welcome back. Unfortunately, I crashed my TRANSALP a few days ago. Let's see what are the damages. What's the most important is that I'm safe. Nothing happened, not even one scratch. I didn't have any problems. I was wearing full gear, of course. Nothing happened. And now let me shortly tell you how it happened. I arrived safely home after my trip, 3,000 kilometers around Romania. When I get home, I noticed that I didn't have the keys to the apartment, so I went to take out the keys from my wife. And on the way back home, I was somehow in a hurry. My mind was completely focusing on getting home as fast as possible, or as trying to find ways through the traffic. And before, with 150 meters or 200 meters before I arrive home, a car just passed my way, and I braked real hard, and at a very low speed, about 5 kilometers per hour maximum, I was hitting with my front wheel the side of the car, the right door of the car. And because the car was still running, it had moved my front wheel to the right, and therefore I crashed on the left side. Now let's see actually what are the damages to my bike. All the damages will be supported by the insurance. So because the car passed my way, that driver was declared guilty, and the insurance of that driver will pay for my, let's say, all the damages caused by that. And now let's see what are really the damages that has been made to my bike. So as I mentioned, as I was stopping in that car was actually moving forward, so has moved my wheel to the right, and somehow create an unbalance to my bike, and I was falling on the left side at very low speed after I hit with the front wheel that car. Even though the braking was quite efficient, it was not enough time to stop completely and not hit the car, because the car passed me quite fast in front. So yeah, I braked, I hit with the front wheel the side of the car, and then crashed on the left side. What I was really, let's say, I was really somehow, if I can say, happy that I could lift the bike very easily. So the bike's weight, actually I didn't feel it. Maybe it was adrenaline, maybe it was that moment, but I could lift the bike first very easily from the surface, from the left side. So first I lifted the bike, I put it on central stand, and here is what I noticed at that place. I will tell you what I saw as a damage first, in the first moments, and what I saw, what we analyzed at the Honda dealer today, what are the real damages, something plus compared with what I've first noticed. First of all, I need to mention that I have Hepco and Becker guards. They really did an amazing job. So thank you, Hepco and Becker. Really, this I can highly recommend it. I don't know about other crash bars, but this one worked for me perfectly. So it was really an amazing stuff, and I really appreciate the work that has been done with this Hepco and Becker handguards. They are really reliable, I can say now after I crashed them. They have only one joint here in the front. There are no other joints. If you compare it with the OEM, it's lighter than the OEM. It's very robust, very tough, and has protected my bike after I fell with it, after I crashed it. So let's start first with the first damage. So first, on a fall, perhaps I pulled somehow, I don't know the dynamic exactly, but the fact is that the clutch lever was not protected by this plastic handguards from Honda. Although they were not broken, as you can see, they have only one scratch in this area. They have one scratch here, slightly one scratch here. Nothing was affected because let's face it, these crash bars protected somehow. And except this scratch and except the fact that this bracket went somehow, this plastic, I put it back, the clutch lever suffered some modifications upwards, so it's not straight anymore, as you can see. And when you try to take it, you can see now that it's in the upper position abnormal, so it's damaged somehow. The bracket which holds the clutch lever is not damaged, it's very strong. At some bikes it can break, this one can break, but now it's kind of okay, nothing happened. So the clutch lever, it's the first thing which has been modified. I was first not able to change the gear properly, but after I've adjusted, after I get used with the new shape of the clutch lever, thankfully I was able to take out the bike and move forward with it. Also, of course, as I crashed, I instantly stopped the ignition. I put it off. I was, I think, in the first gear, so it was kind of difficult first to get the bike out of the first gear. And here is the clutch lever now. As you can see it, it's totally in an abnormal position, so to speak. Okay, the clutch lever, it's totally somehow not broken, but it's not straight anymore. This plastic handguards. And as mentioned before, and I've mentioned it many times, the handguards are really an important piece in this protection package. So I will never ever go without a proper handguard mounted on the bike. As you can see what it can done after, let's say, a minor crash on the left side. You can see the clutch lever, how it looks. You can check it out, how it was affected. Can imagine. I don't know if this happened because I pulled it, on my way down on the left side. So maybe I pulled it, and I was my let's say point of support somehow. I don't know if that was it, because as you can see, the impact on the handguards of the plastic ones, it was not so hard to be destroyed and in order to smash this lever. So I think I actually was my support point somehow, and I was pulling it, and therefore with my enormous force I bended it. So this is bended, yeah, because to my surprise these plastic handguards were not broken, were just scratched. So somehow they do seem to take some shocks, but I don't think they receive a shock. I think they were just slightly scratched, and this lever was bended by myself by pulling it on the way down. Could be. Everything will be replaced under insurance. So thank God that I'm safe, and what can I say? Everything will be replaced. No costs, but it's a great lesson. It's a good lesson that I would like to share it with you in order to somehow prevent this type of things to happen. And let's check out. The Hepco Becker has three 3 scratches, one here, as you can see it, one in this side, a small one in the midpoint over here, and another big one here. So first we have this shock, which was underneath it, just in this position, and has another very small one here. So it's scratched in many positions, but it did perfectly its job to protect the fenders. The fenders are just perfect. Nothing, absolutely nothing to the fenders, as you can check it out. Not even one single scratch, nothing. It's the fenders are perfectly protected. So absolutely no scratch whatsoever with the fenders and the Hepco and Becker crash bars. Another damage was done to the engine protections with the bars, engine bar protectors. They have a slightly crash on the lower part positioned. So just a slightly crash, just a slightly scratch in this part. This is the engine bars, engine guard. And the skid plate had some multiple scratches, I think 4 or 5 scratches in this side. This can also be made anyway by riding off-road or with rocks, but this was done exclusively by the crash on the left side. And also all this combination of skid plate, engine bars and crash bar did an amazing job protecting the fenders, protecting the bike. Let's move forward. What we have here, we have a minor scratch on the clutch lever. As you can see, it's just a minor scratch in this position over here. Nothing serious, it's not bended or something. It's perfectly quick shifter, perfectly attached, so no issues. The foot peg, the rally foot peg, has suffered some scratches and it's slightly bended. Only not the bracket, it's only about the foot peg. It's scratched underneath, slightly scratched, nothing serious, but it is scratched. Another small scratch happened to the bracket of the pillion foot peg. This bracket has a very slight scratch underneath. Nothing serious, but of course it will be changed. You can see the scratch. Otherwise, nothing on the fenders, nothing on the swing arm. So as you can see, everything it's in perfect shape. Although the bike suffered a crash on the left side. Also the rack, the rear rack, it's nothing happened to it. Not even to the number plate and everything it's in perfect condition. So these were these were the damages which I saw just right after the accident. These are the first damages which I saw. But now today I was at a dealer to check out the other possible damages done to the bike. So today I was to the Honda dealer to check out other possible damages that could have been to the bike, to let the bike be checked by professionals. And we discover some slightly other damages which I'm going to present you now. So what we have as a damage, let's say as a damage or as a slightly something that happened to the bike after taking to the Honda dealer, we noticed that the handlebar, it's not straight. It has 1 centimeter difference on this side, so it was slightly bended. You can barely notice, but it was measured at a dealer, and this part it's shorter than this one. So we have also the handlebar, which was moved, which was unstraightened or was affected by this crash. Not much, you can barely see it. You cannot even this you cannot see it. You need not a professional, but you need to measure it. You need to measure the distance from the tank on the left side and the distance from the tank on the right side. And when we measured, there was a difference of 1 centimeter for the handlebar. So handlebar, it's another piece of this bike that will be replaced. And we noticed also a very slightly uneven distance for the left disc, front disc, also for the right, but not much, but there is a difference also for the right, but for the left it's also a difference. So the disc was affected, but how? Not by the crash, by the fact that the crash took place with the brakes on. So it's like taking a pothole with the brakes full engaged. So basically, because the collision took place with the full brakes on, the disc suffered some let's say few uneven modifications. So yeah, the discs will also be replaced. Everything will be replaced. And as you can see, the crash bar, it's quite wide positioned and has protected very well the rest of the bike. It's really good. It was really helpful. The right side has no problem, of course. The impact was on the left side. And also, to my surprise, no damage done to the plastics. So the plastics, nothing happened to the fenders or so, nothing, anything, not even to the brake caliper, no scratches, nothing. Yeah, I was lucky this time. Let's start with the discs. We're gonna start with the crash bar, engine protection, skid plate, foot peg, also the clutch lever, the bracket for the pillion foot peg, the handlebar, the clutch lever, and the handguards. So these are basically the damages. So these are basically all the damages that has the bike suffered due to this collision, which took place a few days ago. What can I say? We are 100% responsible as riders for what's happening, because we can influence, or we can create or not create the conditions of a collision. So we are the only ones that can create the environment for a collision, or we can create the environment for avoiding a collision or something to happen. So my experience, I can say let's say I'm richer now with this new experience, and I can highly recommend that you not pay attention, but what can I say? Nothing is more important than your health and your physical state. The bike can be repaired, of course. There are insurance. That's why there are insurance companies. That's why we pay a lot of money for insurance nowadays. But besides that, I think it's really important to be with your mind, focus 100%. And try to diminish or try to create the conditions for a safer ride. Create the conditions, create the environment for a safer ride. If that means focusing on the bike, putting first the priorities of riding and not getting faster home, no matter what the reasons are. The most important is to arrive home safe, and I think this is the point from where we should start. Everything will be repaired, will last maximum 1 month, could be faster, but no more than 1 month. So I'm looking forward to ride again, maybe new trips, new landscapes, videos from the trip around Romania, 3,000 kilometers in an amazing places. Thanks a lot for watching. Until better news, stick around.